My name is Iris Moreau. I am 28 years old, and 3 days ago, a stranger called my phone and said 4 words that changed everything. You need to disappear. But let me start at the beginning. I work as a translator, not for a big company, not in an office. I work alone from my apartment, translating documents from French to English, legal papers, medical reports, technical manuals, boring work, but it pays my rent. I like working alone. No boss watching me, no coworkers asking questions, just me, my computer, and words that need changing from one language to another. I live in a converted loft in the old factory district. The building used to make textiles 100 years ago. Now it makes nothing. The machinery is gone. The workers are gone. Only the shell remains. Developers turned it into cheap apartments for people like me, people who don't need much, people who prefer being forgotten. My apartment is on the 4th floor, one large room with exposed brick walls and tall windows. The heating barely works in winter. The plumbing makes strange noises, but the rent is cheap and nobody bothers me. I have lived here for 2 years. In those 2 years, I have spoken to exactly 3 neighbors. Twice to the old woman on the 2nd floor who needed help carrying groceries. Once to the maintenance man who came to fix my broken sink. That's it. There is someone else in this building, though. Someone I have never met. Someone I have never seen. But I know they exist because of the letters. Every Friday for the past 6 months, I find an envelope under my door. Not in my mailbox downstairs, under my actual apartment door. Someone walks up 4 flights of stairs and slides an envelope into my space while I'm sleeping or working or showering. The envelopes are always the same. Plain white, no return address, no name. Inside is a single piece of paper with 1 sentence written in black ink. The sentences are strange. They don't make sense, at least not to me. The first one said, "The blue car is watching." I remember reading it 3 times, trying to understand. What blue car? Watching what? Watching who? The second letter said, "Don't trust the woman in 207. I don't even know who lives in apartment 207. I have never been to that floor. The third letter, "They know about the package." What package? I don't receive packages. I don't order things online. The letters continued, every Friday, 1 sentence, always mysterious, always unsettling. The cameras are in the light fixtures. Your computer is not secure. Someone is listening. The man with the briefcase is not who he says. Check the roof at midnight. I never checked the roof. I never looked for cameras. I told myself the letters were a joke. Some bored neighbor playing a prank. Or maybe they were meant for someone else. Maybe the letter writer had the wrong apartment. Maybe these messages were supposed to go to apartment 401, not 404. An honest mistake. But deep down, I didn't believe that. Because whoever was leaving these letters knew exactly where I lived. They came to my door specifically. They wrote these messages for me. For Iris Moreau in apartment 404, the translator who lives alone and never talks to anyone. Why? What did they want? What did they know? I kept every letter. I don't know why. Maybe as evidence, maybe as proof that I wasn't going crazy. I put them in a shoebox under my bed. 24 letters total, 24 Fridays, 24 mysterious warnings. Then last Friday, the most recent letter arrived. It was different from the others. The envelope was thicker, heavier. Inside were 2 pieces of paper instead of 1. The first page had a phone number, nothing else, just 10 digits written in that same black ink. The second page had a message. When they come for you, call this number. Trust no one else. My hands shook reading it. When they come for me, who? Why? Come for me, how? This wasn't a game anymore. This wasn't a prank. This felt real, dangerous, wrong. That was 6 days ago. I spent the weekend terrified. I jumped at every sound. I checked my door constantly. I looked out my windows searching for blue cars. I didn't sleep well. On Monday, I tried to work. I opened my computer and stared at the French legal document I needed to translate. The words blurred on the screen. I couldn't concentrate. I kept thinking about the letters, about the warnings, about whoever was leaving them. Tuesday was worse. I barely ate. I paced around my apartment. I kept picking up the phone number, staring at it. Should I call? Should I go to the police? But what would I tell them? Someone is leaving me mysterious letters, and I don't know why. They would think I was paranoid, crazy. They would tell me to ignore it, to change my locks, to install a security camera. Normal advice for normal problems. But this didn't feel normal. Nothing about this felt normal. Wednesday afternoon changed everything. I was sitting at my desk, pretending to work. The rain was hitting my windows hard. A spring storm. The sky was dark gray, even though it was only 3 o'clock. My phone rang. I looked at the screen. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. I hate talking on the phone. I never give my number to anyone except clients, and they always email instead of calling. But something made me answer. Maybe curiosity. Maybe fate. I pressed the button and held the phone to my ear. Hello? Silence. Just breathing on the other end. Hello? I said again, louder. Is someone there? Then a voice spoke. A woman's voice, low and urgent. Iris Moreau? My blood went cold. How did she know my name? Yes, I whispered. Who is this? Listen carefully. You don't know me. You don't need to know me. But I know you are in danger. I stood up from my chair so fast it fell backward. What? What are you talking about? You need to leave the city. Tonight. Don't pack much. Don't tell anyone, just go. My heart was racing. Why? Who are you? What's happening? I can't explain on the phone. It's not safe. They might be listening. They. The same they from the letters. The same they who were supposedly coming for me. I don't understand, I said. My voice cracked. You translated a document 2 months ago. A medical report, do you remember? I translate dozens of medical reports every month. How could I remember one specific document from 2 months ago? I translate many documents, I said. Which one? The autopsy report. The one about the politician who died in the car accident. I froze. Yes, I remembered now. It was unusual. Most of my work comes through an agency, but that document came directly to me. Someone emailed it with instructions to translate it quickly and confidentially. The report was about a French politician who died in a car crash outside Paris. Nothing seemed suspicious about it, just a tragic accident. I translated the document in one afternoon. I sent it back to the email address. I got paid. I moved on to the next job. What about it? I asked. The woman's voice became even quieter. That document was not supposed to be translated. It was not supposed to leave France. And it was not supposed to be sent to you. Someone made a mistake. Now people know you have seen it. Seen what? It was just an accident report. There was nothing. Look again, she interrupted. Read between the lines. The injuries don't match the official story. That's why they want the document destroyed, and why they want anyone who saw it to disappear. I felt sick. Are you saying someone is going to kill me over a medical report? I'm saying you need to leave. Now. Tonight. Before they find you. Why are you helping me? Why do you care? There was a long pause. Because I made the mistake. I sent you that document. I put you in danger. Now I'm trying to fix it. The line went dead. She hung up. I stood there holding my phone, staring at the rain hitting my windows. My mind was racing. Was this real? Was I actually in danger? Or was this woman crazy? I looked at my computer. I searched through my old files, found the autopsy report from 2 months ago. I opened it and read it again, this time carefully, looking for what I missed before, looking for what she meant by injuries don't match the official story. And there it was. Hidden in, and there it was. Hidden in the technical medical language. The politician's injuries showed blunt force trauma to the back of the skull, but the car accident report said he crashed head first into a tree. The steering wheel should have caused frontal damage, chest injuries, facial trauma, not a blow to the back of the head, unless someone hit him from behind before the crash, unless someone staged the accident. My hands started shaking. I closed the file quickly, as if closing it would make the information disappear. As if I could unknow what I just understood. Someone murdered that politician. Someone made it look like an accident. And I had translated the evidence that proved it. I was a witness to a cover-up, a murder, a conspiracy I never asked to be part of. I stood up and walked to my window. 4 floors below, the street was empty because of the rain. No cars, no pedestrians, just wet pavement and storm drains overflowing. Wait. There was a car. A dark sedan parked across the street. I had never seen it before. The windows were tinted. I couldn't see inside. Was someone sitting in there, watching my building, watching my window? I stepped back from the glass. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. The woman on the phone said to leave tonight. But where? I had no family, no close friends, no place to run to. I grabbed my phone and found the piece of paper from last Friday's letter. The phone number. When they come for you, call this number. They were coming. Maybe they were already here. In that dark sedan, waiting. I dialed the number with trembling fingers. It rang once, twice, 3 times. Then someone answered. No greeting, no hello, just silence and breathing. Someone just called me, I said quickly. A woman. She said I'm in danger. She said I need to leave. More silence. Are you still there? I asked desperately. Yes. A man's voice, deep and calm. I'm here. Who are you? What's happening to me? Listen carefully, Iris. I'm going to help you, but you need to do exactly what I say. Do you understand? No, I don't understand anything. I don't know who you are. I don't know why. Do you trust the woman who called you? He interrupted. I thought about it. I don't know. Should I? Yes, she's trying to save your life, and so am I. Why? Who are you people? We're the ones who've been leaving you letters for 6 months. We've been trying to warn you, to prepare you. We knew this day would come. My mind spun. You've been leaving the letters? Both of you? There are 3 of us, he said. We work together. We try to protect people who accidentally get caught in dangerous situations, like you. I don't understand. I'm just a translator. I work alone. I don't know anyone. I don't. You translated something you weren't supposed to see. Now you're a liability. They will come for you, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We don't have much time. I looked out the window again. The dark sedan was still there. There's a car outside my building, a dark car with tinted windows. I know, I'm watching it too. His voice stayed calm, too calm. How are you watching it? Where are you? I'm closer than you think. Now listen, you're going to pack a small bag. Only essentials. Clothes for 3 days, your passport, any cash you have, nothing electronic. Leave your phone, leave your laptop. They can track those. Leave my phone? How will I contact you? You won't need to. I'll find you. This is insane. I should call the police. The police can't help you. Some of them are involved. Do you understand? This goes higher than you think, higher than local police. You need to trust me. Did I trust him? I didn't even know him. But I didn't have many choices. The woman on the phone knew about the document. She knew I was in danger. And this man knew about the car outside. They knew things I didn't know. Things that felt true even though I didn't want them to be. Okay, I whispered. What do I do? Pack your bag. When you're ready, go down the back stairwell. Not the main stairs, the back ones that lead to the alley. Do you know them? I did. There was an old service staircase at the back of the building. I had never used it. The door was usually locked. Yes, I know it. Good. The door will be unlocked. Go down to the alley, turn left, walk 3 blocks north. There's a coffee shop called Marta's. Go inside, order a coffee, sit in the back corner, wait. Wait for what? Wait for me. The line went dead. He hung up just like the woman did. No goodbye, no explanation, just instructions and silence. I stood there holding my dead phone, trying to decide if I was making a terrible mistake. Was I really going to run away based on 2 phone calls from strangers? Was I really going to abandon my apartment, my work, my entire life because of a translated document? I looked out the window one more time. The dark sedan's door opened. A man stepped out. He wore a black coat and carried a briefcase. He looked up at my building, directly at my floor, directly at my window. Our eyes met for 1 second. Then he started walking toward my building's entrance. That decided it. I ran to my bedroom. I grabbed my old backpack from the closet. I threw in clothes without thinking, jeans, shirts, underwear, my warmest jacket. I found my passport in my desk drawer. I had $200 in cash. I took it all. I looked around my apartment one last time, my computer, my books, my quiet, lonely life. Was I ever coming back? I didn't have time to think about it. I heard footsteps in the hallway, heavy footsteps, coming up the stairs, getting closer. I grabbed my backpack and ran to my door. I pressed my ear against it. The footsteps stopped. Right outside my apartment, someone was standing there. I held my breath, waiting. Then I heard it. A key sliding into a lock. Not my lock, the apartment next door, apartment 406, the empty apartment that had been vacant for months. Someone just unlocked the empty apartment next to mine. Someone was moving in right now, at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon during a rainstorm. That wasn't normal. That wasn't a coincidence. They weren't moving in. They were setting up surveillance. They were getting into position. I had minutes, maybe less. I ran to my kitchen, the back door, the one that led to the service stairwell. I had never used it. I didn't even know if it opened. I grabbed the handle and pulled. Locked. Of course it was locked. I searched frantically for the key. Where did I put it? Did I even have a key? I yanked open my junk drawer. Batteries, tape, old pens. There. A small brass key. I grabbed it and shoved it into the lock. It turned. The door opened. The service stairwell was dark and smelled like mold, concrete stairs going down into blackness. I stepped inside and closed the door quietly behind me. I stood there in the dark, listening. I could hear sounds from the other side of the wall, movement in apartment 406, furniture being dragged, voices speaking low. They were right there, feet away from me. I started down the stairs, slowly, carefully. The steps were crumbling in places. I used my hands against the wall to guide myself. 1 floor down, 2 floors, 3 floors. The darkness felt endless. My backpack hit the wall with a soft thud. I froze, listened, nothing. Keep moving, 4 floors down. Finally, I reached the bottom. A metal door with a push bar. I pressed it. The door swung open into the alley behind my building. Rain hit my face immediately, cold and hard. I looked left and right. The alley was empty, just dumpsters and puddles and rain. I turned left like the man said, started walking, not running. Running would attract attention. I forced myself to walk normally, like I was just going to the store, just running an errand in the rain. Nothing suspicious. My backpack got heavier with each step. The rain soaked through my jacket. 1 block, 2 blocks. I passed a laundromat, a closed hardware store. A man stood under an awning smoking a cigarette. He looked at a cigarette. He looked at me. I looked away and kept walking. Did he work for them? Was he watching? I couldn't trust anyone. 3 blocks. There, on the corner. A small coffee shop with a faded sign. Marta's Coffee. The windows were steamed up from the inside. I could see people sitting at tables, normal people drinking coffee on a rainy afternoon. I pushed open the door. The warmth hit me immediately, the smell of coffee and wet coats. A woman behind the counter looked up. "Terrible weather," she said cheerfully. I nodded, couldn't speak. My throat felt tight. "What can I get you?" "Coffee, black, please." My voice came out hoarse. She poured it into a paper cup. I paid with wet bills from my pocket, took the coffee to the back corner like he said. There were 2 empty tables. I chose the one against the wall where I could see the door. I sat down, waited. The coffee was too hot to drink. I wrapped my hands around the cup anyway. The warmth felt good. My fingers were numb from the cold rain. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. The door opened and closed several times. People coming in from the rain, shaking umbrellas, ordering drinks. Nobody looked at me. Nobody sat at my table. 15 minutes. Was I being stood up? Was this all some elaborate trick? Then the door opened again. A man walked in. He was maybe 40 years old, tall. He wore jeans and a dark jacket, wet from the rain. He didn't look at me, didn't acknowledge me at all. He ordered coffee at the counter, paid. Then he walked directly to my table and sat down across from me. "You made it," he said quietly. "Who are you?" I asked. My hands gripped the coffee cup tighter. "My name is Marcus Reed. I'm the one who's been leaving you letters." I studied his face, trying to see if he looked dangerous, trying to see if I should run. He looked ordinary, tired, like someone who worked too hard and slept too little. "Why?" I asked. "Why have you been warning me?" "Because 6 months ago, we discovered someone was using you, using your translation work to move sensitive documents, documents that could get people killed." "I don't understand. I just translate. I don't know what the documents are for. I don't ask questions." "Exactly. That's why they chose you. You're invisible. You work alone. You don't have connections. You're perfect for moving information without knowing you're doing it." My stomach felt sick. The autopsy report. That one was a mistake. Someone sent it to you who wasn't supposed to. Someone inside their organization who wanted the truth to get out. They've been looking for that person, and now they're looking for you. The woman who called me. Is she the one who sent it? Yes. Her name is Dr. Iris Moreau. She's a forensic pathologist in Paris. She examined the politician's body. She knew the official report was a lie. She wanted someone to know the truth. She thought sending it to a random translator in another country would be safe. She was wrong. So what happens now? I asked. Now you disappear. For how long? I don't know. Maybe months, maybe years. Until we can prove what really happened, until we can make it safe for you to come back. Years. He said years so casually, like I could just erase my entire life and start over. I can't just disappear. I have work. I stopped. What did I have? An apartment I rented. Clients I never met. A life so quiet nobody would notice if I vanished. You don't have a choice, Marcus said gently. They know who you are. They know where you live. If you go back to that apartment, you won't leave it alive. How do I know you're telling the truth? How do I know you're not one of them? He reached into his jacket. I tensed, ready to run. He pulled out a folder, slid it across the table. Open it. I opened the folder. Inside were photographs. The first one showed the dark sedan outside my building. The second showed the man in the black coat entering my building. The third showed another man picking the lock on apartment 406. The fourth showed equipment being set up inside that apartment. Cameras, recording devices, a long-range microphone aimed at the wall, at my apartment. They were listening, watching, waiting for me to come back. We've been watching them watch you, Marcus said, for the past 3 days, ever since they figured out you translated that document. I closed the folder. My hands shook. Who are they? Who's doing this? People with power. People who don't want the truth about that politician's death to come out. People who will kill to keep their secrets. And who are you? Why are you helping me? My partner and I work independently. We find people in danger and help them disappear. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've saved 43 people. Why? Because once upon a time, someone saved us. He stood up. We need to go. There's a car waiting 2 blocks from here. It will take you somewhere safe. Tomorrow you'll get a new identity, a new name, a new life. I can't just leave everything. You already did when you walked down those stairs. He was right. I had already left. The moment I believed the woman on the phone, the moment I packed my bag, the moment I ran. What about my things, my apartment? Leave it, all of it. They're watching your place. If you go back, they'll know. I thought about my books, my computer, my quiet life translating alone. Was it worth dying for? No, nothing in that apartment was worth dying for. Okay, I whispered. I'll go. Marcus nodded. Good. Follow me. Stay close. Don't look at anyone. We left the coffee shop together. The rain had stopped. The street was wet and shining. We walked 2 blocks north. A gray car waited at the curb. The engine was running. Marcus opened the back door for me. I hesitated. This was it. The moment I got in that car, my old life ended. Everything I knew would disappear. It's okay to be scared, Marcus said. Everyone is scared at first, but you'll survive this. We'll make sure of it. I got in the car. The door closed. A woman sat in the driver's seat. She turned around and smiled. Hello, Iris. I'm Sarah. I'll be driving you somewhere safe. The car pulled away from the curb. I watched my neighborhood disappear through the rain-streaked window. The old factory buildings, the familiar streets, my life fading into the distance. "Where are we going?" I asked. "Somewhere they'll never find you," Sarah said. "Somewhere you can start over." My name is Iris Moreau, except it's not anymore. Now I'm called Anna Blake. I live in a small coastal town 300 miles away. I rent a cottage near the beach. I work at a bookstore owned by an elderly woman who asks no questions. I translate nothing. I speak to almost no one. I am invisible again. But this time it's intentional. This time it's survival. Marcus visits once a month. He brings news, updates on the investigation. Dr. Elise Laurent is safe, hiding in South America. The people who were after me are still looking. They think I left the country. They don't know about Anna Blake in the small coastal town. They don't know about the cottage by the beach. I am a ghost. That's the point. Sometimes I walk on the beach at sunset. I watch the waves. I think about my old life. The apartment with the exposed brick, the quiet evenings translating, the lonely routine I thought would last forever. I don't miss it. That surprises me. I thought I would miss the familiarity, the safety of knowing exactly what each day would bring. But I don't. This life is uncertain, dangerous, temporary, but it's also real. More real than anything I had before. I'm alive in a way I wasn't before. I notice things, the sound of the ocean, the smell of salt air, the feeling of sand under my feet. I was sleepwalking through my old life. This woke me up. One evening, I'm closing the bookstore when someone walks in. A woman, maybe 35, dark hair, elegant clothes that don't fit this small town. "I'm sorry," I say. "We're closed." She smiles. "I know. I'm not here for books." My blood turns cold. I recognize that voice, low and urgent. It's her, Dr. Elise Laurent, the woman who called me 3 months ago, the woman who sent me the autopsy report, the woman who put me in danger and then tried to save me. "You," I whisper. She closes the door behind her, locks it. "We need to talk." "How did you find me?" My heart races. "If you found me, they can find me too." "Relax. I'm careful. Nobody followed me. I made sure." She walks closer, studies my face. "You look different, healthier. The fear is good for you." That's a terrible thing to say. But it's true. You were half dead in that apartment, working alone, never speaking to anyone, never living. Now look at you. You're alive. I don't know whether to be angry or grateful. "Why are you here? Marcus said you were in South America." I was, but things changed. We have new information about the politician's death, about who ordered it. I don't want to know. I just want to stay hidden, stay safe. I know, but you deserve to understand why your life was destroyed, why you had to disappear. She pulls out her phone, shows me a photograph, a man in an expensive suit, gray hair, confident smile. "Do you recognize him?" "No. Should I?" "His name is Victor Ashford. He's a businessman, owns half the construction contracts in Europe, very powerful, very connected." "What does he have to do with the politician?" "The politician was investigating him. Corruption, bribes, money laundering. The investigation was about to go public. Ashford couldn't let that happen. So he killed him and made it look like an accident. It should have worked. It would have worked. Except I examined the body. I saw the truth, and I made a mistake. You sent the report to me. I thought I was being smart, sending it out of the country to someone random who had no connection to any of this. I thought you would translate it and forget about it. I didn't know they were watching. I didn't know they tracked everything that crossed their desk. I'm sorry, Iris. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this. I sit down on the bookstore counter. My legs feel weak. So what now? Are you here to apologize? Because I already know you're sorry. Marcus told me. No, I'm here because we have a plan. A way to end this. A way to make you safe again. What kind of plan? She puts her phone away, looks me directly in the eyes. We're going to expose Ashford, publish the real autopsy report, publish the evidence, bring down his entire operation. Once the truth is public, they'll have no reason to come after you. You'll be safe. If you publish, won't that put a target on your back? It already is. I've been running for 3 months. I'm tired of running. I want my life back, don't you? I think about it. My cottage by the beach, my job at the bookstore, my new identity. It's peaceful, it's safe, but it's not mine. It's borrowed, temporary. I'm living someone else's life. Anna Blake's life, not Iris Moreau's life. What do you need from me? I ask quietly. Permission. The autopsy report is in your name. You translated it. You own the English version. I need your permission to publish it. That's all? That's all. Sign this document. Let me use your translation. Let me expose the truth. She hands me a paper. It's a release form. Legal language authorizing the publication of the document I translated 3 months ago. I stare at the paper. If I sign this, everything changes. The hiding ends. The danger might end, or it might get worse. Victor Ashford is powerful. What if publishing the truth makes him more desperate? What if he comes after me anyway? What if this doesn't work? I ask. What if Ashford has enough power to bury this? What if publishing makes things worse? Then at least we tried. At least we fought back. Isn't that better than hiding forever? Is it? I don't know. Part of me wants to stay hidden, stay safe, keep being Anna Blake in the small coastal town. But another part of me, the part that woke up 3 months ago, wants to fight, wants to take back my life, wants to stop running. If I sign this, what happens to me? You stay here for 2 more weeks. We publish the report. It goes to every major newspaper in Europe and America simultaneously. Within 24 hours, the story breaks wide open. Ashford's empire crumbles. The authorities investigate. Within a month, you can go home, back to your old life, back to being Iris Moreau. Back to my old life, my quiet apartment, my solitary translation work, my invisible existence. Do I even want that anymore? Can I think about it? You have 24 hours. I'll come back tomorrow night, same time. She unlocks the door, starts to leave, then she stops. For what it's worth, I think you're brave. Most people would have crumbled. You survived. She leaves. The bell above the door chimes. I'm alone again in the empty bookstore. I look at the release form in my hands. My name, my real name, is printed at the top. Iris Moreau. I haven't seen those words in 3 months. They look strange now, like they belong to someone else, someone I used to be. That night, I can't sleep. I lie in my cottage listening to the ocean, thinking about choices, about courage, about the difference between hiding and surviving. Marcus told me once that 43 people came before me. 43 people who had to disappear and start over. Did any of them get their lives back? Or did they stay in hiding forever? Did they become their new identities permanently? The next evening, Dr. Laurent returns to the bookstore. Well, she asks, have you decided? I hand her the signed release form. Publish it. Expose everything. I'm tired of being afraid. She smiles. It's the first genuine smile I've seen on her face. Good. You're stronger than you think, Iris. When will you publish? 3 days. I'm coordinating with journalists, making sure the timing is right, making sure it can't be suppressed. 3 days. 72 hours until my life changes again. Until the truth comes out. Until I find out if this was the right choice or a fatal mistake. Those 3 days pass slowly. I work at the bookstore. I walk on the beach. I prepare for whatever comes next. On the 3rd day, Marcus calls me. It's done, he says. The story just broke. It's everywhere. Front page of every major publication. Ashford is in custody. His associates are being rounded up. It's over, Iris. You're safe. I can't speak. Can't process it. Are you sure? Positive. The evidence was overwhelming. Dr. Laurent's autopsy report, financial records, testimony from insiders. Ashford's entire operation is collapsing. He has no power left, no reason to come after you. So I can go home whenever you're ready. I hang up the phone, look around my cottage, the small kitchen, the cozy living room with the ocean view, the bookshelf filled with books I've read in the past 3 months. This place saved me. This quiet life rebuilt me. But it's not my life. It was never supposed to be permanent. I pack my bag, the same backpack I carried 3 months ago. I tell the bookstore owner I'm leaving. She hugs me without asking questions. I walk through the small town one last time, past the coffee shop, past the beach, past the pier where I watched the sunset dozens of times. A car arrives. Sarah is driving. Ready to go home? She asks. Yes, I say. I'm ready. The drive back to the city takes 4 hours. I watch the landscape change through the window. Small towns becoming suburbs, becoming city streets, familiar territory. When we finally pull up to my old building, the converted factory in the old district, I feel strange, like I'm visiting a museum of my former life. Do you want me to come up with you? Sarah asks. No, I need to do this alone. I take the elevator to the 4th floor, stand outside apartment 404. My hand shakes when I put the key in the lock. The door opens. Everything is exactly as I left it. My desk, my computer, my books, 3 months frozen in time. I walk to the window, look down at the street below. No dark sedan, no men in black coats, just normal traffic, normal people, normal life. I am safe, really safe. For the first time in 3 months, I can breathe. My phone rings. A new number. I answer carefully. Hello? Iris? It's Dr. Laurent. I wanted to check on you. I'm home. I'm okay. Good. I'm glad. And Iris? Thank you for being brave, for signing that form. You helped bring down a very bad man. We both did, I say. She laughs softly. Yes, we both did. Take care of yourself. You too. I hang up. Look around my apartment. My old life is here, waiting for me, but I'm not the same person who left. I'm not invisible anymore. I'm not hiding. I survived something terrible. I fought back, I won, and that changes everything. Tomorrow I'll start translating again. I'll rebuild my quiet life, but it will be different this time. Because I know now that quiet doesn't mean powerless. Invisible doesn't mean weak. Sometimes the smallest people can bring down the biggest empires. Sometimes one translator with one document can change everything. My name is Iris Moreau. I am 28 years old, and I am finally, truly free. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Storyline English so you never miss a new story. Learning English is a journey, and every story takes you one step further. See you next time.